Hello, hello, everybody. Tashina Gonzalez with Vida Activa here today. And I just wanted to come on here and share some thoughts about emotional wellness. This is actually probably a talk that I would usually do on my YouTube channel because my mental and emotional wellness talks I usually do directly on my YouTube live, but I just thought with everything that is going on and what everything everyone is experiencing, I posted a couple of memes and graphics and it made me reflect. And I was thinking of a story and I was thinking of the why behind it and this new connection that I made between these two memes. And so I thought because I need to hear it, that I would share it with other people to see if it helps them with their emotional wellness. And it was connected. I could connect it to a track story that I had that I thought maybe it'd be helpful. So I found this. I actually found out about Rumi and looked up his quotes. I think it was in the fall or the winter of a vacation of 2014, and so I've just came across some of his quotes, and this one is really interesting. That says, and I loved it when I saw it. It said, I said, what about my eyes? God said, keep them on the road. I said, what about my passion? God said, keep it burning. I said, what about my heart? God said, tell me what you hold inside of it. I said, pain and sorrow. God said, stay with it. The wound is the place where the light enters you. So then, as I was searching for this quote because I was going to post it, I saw another quote by a different person that said, I am blooming from the wound where I once bled. And so I just thought about that because I am a person who does not like to be emotional. I am a person who likes to run from emotional pain, having had so much emotional trauma and emotional pain in my life. I am a person that does not like to stay with the pain and the sorrow. But when you put those two quotes together, it shows me the why we have to stay with that pain and sorrow. And so again, I thought about how I had a wound which was in the form of a disease called asthma. And that could have been something that prevented me from doing track. But I was fast and I wanted to be on a track team and I want to gain medals. And so I joined the track team. And I was in a lot of pain in different ways when I first started. I was going to be a sprinter because I was fast and I needed to do 100-meter and 200-meter dashes, and they wanted me to do 5-mile runs. And I was like, why do I have to do 5 miles? I can't run 5 miles. And it was very, very painful. It was painful for me having asthma. It was painful for the rest of my body. And so for me, it was a wound. It's something that if I would have decided I won't take this physical pain, if I would have walked away from it, I wouldn't have became a track star. But I pushed through it. When at the beginning of track, I kid you not, every single day in 10th grade of track for an entire month, I thought about quitting at the end of it because it was so painful. My lungs hurt. I was the last place every time we did a 5-mile run, and my body hurt. My body had never done all that, but I stuck with the pain because I was looking at that finish line. I was looking at how eventually I was going to be able to get a medal. And eventually I did push through it, and eventually I did get better, and eventually I not only got medals, I by the time I was in 12th grade on that track team, I was one of the fastest people on the team, and we actually broke a record. And so what was my wound physically, my disability, my asthma, eventually where I bled, where I hurt, eventually was the place that I blossomed because I became a track star, even though I started out with that wound. And so I was just thinking on that and reflecting on that as I try to share my story of the trauma that I'm experiencing and the emotional pain I'm experiencing this past week from watching the news and other emotional trauma that I've feeling a little bit as I try to work through some goals and some self-doubt and some self-defeating things that can happen. And I want you guys to understand and to do that too, to push through and to stay with that pain and to understand that pain and to share your stories even when it's painful, because at the end of the day, like the title says, stay with it. The wound is the place where the light enters you. And when that light enters you, that gives you an opening for hope. That gives you an opening for a finish line. That gives you an opening for an environment for growth. That gives you an opening for so many things. And eventually you'll be to the place where you can say mentally or emotionally, whatever you're working on, I'm blooming from the wound where I once bled. So I was just thinking about that again, personally for myself, as I try to work through some of these emotions and stay with pain and sorrow, which is not my strong point. It is not what I like to do. I like to run from the emotional pain. I like to flee from the emotional pain, but concentrating on my why, just like I did when I was in track, concentrating on my why, that I know that eventually this won't be a weakness for me. It's going to be a strength, just like I did with track and just like what I've done with other things, is helping me to stay with that pain and sorrow, because I know that that is where the light enters. And I know that that wound eventually will get healed and I will be able to blossom from it. So thank you guys that joined me. As usual, let me know what city and state you're watching this from. And then also hashtag replay if you're watching the replay, no matter what venue it is, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And absolutely, if you have not done so yet, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I have all types of health and wellness videos for everyone, including ones like this on mental and emotional wellness. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.